Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Prabhuji has already joined.
Yeah, Mataji. Sundarani Mataji is there. That's what I was thinking, if she can do it.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, Mataji, I can do Mataji.
Okay.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य शिला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Sundarangi Radha Devi Dasi from India, welcoming all of you to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call today. I thank all of you for joining the Japa session. Please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. Now I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy names of the Lord, which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in the Padma Purana. Number 1, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Number 2, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu. Number 3, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Number 4, to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in portions to the Vedic version. Number 5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. Number 6, to give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. Number 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. Number 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. Number 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Number 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instruction on this matter. It is also an offensive to inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired service, Krishna Prema. Once again, dear devotees, I thank everyone for joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call today. Let us move to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined?
Mataji, we will skip that, Mataji.
Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Preeti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Priti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call. Hare Krishna. I can see Prabhuji is already here. So we are skipping the introduction. Welcome to all devotees. So we are directly starting. Hare Krishna. Today we are so fortunate to have His grace. Sorry, Mother.
Gaurchandra Prabhuji.
Gaurchandra Prabhu, yes, Mataji, thank you. His Grace Gaurchandra Prabhu on our call today and to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you, Prabhu. Whenever you are ready, please take over the call, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Sundarangi Radha Mataji. Humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas who have gathered. We're on a very auspicious month and a very auspicious day today. So I'm grateful to all of you for giving me this opportunity to be in your association to glorify the Lord. And a very beautiful verse indeed. So we'll start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatam Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगुणविता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 8th canto chapter 12 verse number 6. Thank you Mataji. So I'll recite the verse first. Tavaiva charanam bhujam shreyas kama nirashishah visrujya ubhayatah sangam unayah samupasate. Translation: pure devotees or great saintly persons who desire to achieve the highest goal in life and who are completely free from all material desires for sense gratification engage constantly in the transcendental service of your lotus feet. Purported by the Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. One is in the material world where he thinks, I am this body and everything with reference to my body is mine. Ata griha kshetra sutapta vittair janasya mohoyam aham mameti. This is the symptom of material life. In the materialistic conception of life, one thinks, this is my house, this is my land, this is my family, this is my state, and so on. But those who are munayaha, saintly persons, following in the footsteps of Narad Muni, simply engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord without any personal desire for sense gratification. Anyabhigashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavrata. Either in this life or in the next, the only concern of such saintly devotees is to serve the Supreme Personality of God. Thus, they are also absolute because they have no other desires. Being freed from the dualities of material desire, they are called Shreyas Kamaha. In other words, they are not concerned with dharma, religiosity, artha, economic development, or kama, sense gratification. The only concern of such devotees is moksha, liberation. This moksha does not refer to becoming one with the Supreme like the Mayavadi philosophers. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained that real moksha means taking shelter of the lotus feet of the personality of God. The Lord clearly explained this fact while instructing Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya wanted to correct the word Mukti Pade in Srimad Bhagavatam, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu informed him that there is no need to correct any word in Srimad Bhagavatam. He explained that Mukti Pade refers to the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, who offers mukti and is therefore called Mukunda. A pure devotee is not concerned with material things. He is not concerned with religiosity, economic development, or sense gratification. He is only interested only in serving the lotus feet of the Lord. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshan Kam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langheti Girim Yat Kripata Mahamande Shri Gurum Dintaranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishvara Hari Om Tatsat. Hare Krishna. Thank you all once again. It's a very beautiful verse. This whole section is so sweet and so instructive, and especially this section that we are discussing today in the 12th chapter is a very, very interesting episode, a very unique episode. This chapter is entitled Mohini Murti Bewilders Lord Shiva. We discussed the pastime of the appearance of the Mohini Murti and how the Mohini Murti bewildered the demons. Lord Vishnu assumed this extraordinarily beautiful form where the demons' minds were bewildered and the Amrita Kalasha was taken away from the demons and the Amrit was distributed to the Devatas. The whole episode got over, and it so happened that Lord Shiva was not there at that time. Lord Shiva had previously drunk the halahal. Probably after that, Parvati Devi said, maybe you should take some rest. So it seems like he wasn't there personally to witness this particular episode where Lord Hari assumed the form of Mohini. And the fame of this Mohini Murti form and the super excellent attractive features of the Mohini Murti form spread all over the world, and the news reached Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva, for one, being the greatest devotee of the Lord, Vaishnava Nam Yatha Shambhu, he was feeling, Arey, such a wonderful episode of the pastimes of my Lord. Wherever the Lord has pastimes, I am there. Ram Leela, I will make sure I interact with the Lord. Krishna Leela, I will interact with the Lord. I want to see. In Vrindavan, Lord Shiva is taking various forms as Kshetrapal and there serving the Lord as the protector of the holy dham. Lord Shiva is the greatest devotee and also one of the greatest servants. He's one of the Mahajanas. So he was feeling, oh, so many forms of the Lord I have seen. But this form is unique. I have never seen the Lord assume the form of a woman. I have seen Varaha, I have seen Narasimha, I have seen different forms, but form of a woman, and that too the most attractive woman. By the way, Lord Shiva is the husband of Parvati, who is the most attractive woman within the material world. And he is hearing that this woman is unparalleled in her beauty. So he became so curious. Of course, he knows the glory of the Lord. He knows the Lord can manifest such a beautiful form. So Lord Shiva became so eager to take darshan of this particular form. And he and Parvati discussed and they said, okay, yes, we are so eager to see this beautiful form. Let us go and meet Lord Vishnu. And I want to request Lord Vishnu, grant me darshan of this form, because somehow I was missing at that particular time. The Lord will definitely grant this request of mine. So thinking like this, the Lord, along with Parvati, seated on Nandi, with a big entourage of all the ghosts. Lord Shiva is surrounded by ghosts. He is also known as Bhutanath, often covered with crematorium ashes. Lord Shiva is Maheshwar. He is one of the expansions of the Supreme Lord. He is one of the avatars of the Lord in charge of the mode of ignorance. And because of his extremely compassionate nature, he is extremely kind. He is an ocean of kindness. Karpura Gauram Karunavataram. Lord Shiva is sometimes referred to as Karunavatar, extremely compassionate. And not only is his Karunavatar, he is Ashutosh, very easily pleased. So Lord Shiva is always, he's famous for extending himself, especially to deliver the most fallen. the most messed up people, messed up entities. Who's the most messed up? Those who are trapped in lowly species of ghosts and goblins and those kind of demoniac species with no hope of deliverance. Lord Shiva is the one who reaches out to the lowest to deliver them. So he gives them his association. So anyway, this whole entourage went to meet Lord Hari. Not much is mentioned where exactly he met Lord Hari, but looks like it was somewhere not within the Vaikuntha, because obviously the ghosts wouldn't have gotten there. It was Vaikuntha, but looks like it was somewhere within the three realms. And Lord Shiva and Parvati went and visited the residence of Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi Devi. Now, this is such a wonderful opportunity. There are actually, by the way, if you're not aware, many pastimes in scriptures where Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi Devi together meet with Lord Shiva and Parvati. They are very close as family. Even as devotees, sometimes certain families are very close. So within this world, Lord Shiva and Parvati often interact with Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi Devi. There are many Puranic stories where they get together, they are meeting, they are talking, they are having prasad. So many such sweet episodes happened. So this was one of the times that this happened. And Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi Devi were so happy. Lord Vishnu sees Lord Shiva and he welcomes Lord Shiva and Uma Devi. And it is said in this beginning of this chapter that Lord Shiva, even though he is Ishvara Tattva, Lord Shiva, even though we say he is a Devata, he is not a Devata like the other Devatas. He is not a Jiva Tattva. He is in his own special category of Shambhu Tattva. He is neither Vishnu nor is he Jiva. He is an incarnation of the Lord, but an incarnation who has contact with the material energy. That's why he has his own Tattva, Shambhu. Kshiram yatha dadivikara vishesha yogat. The example comparison between the milk and the curd. Lord Shiva, when he sees Lord Vishnu, he is so blissful to have darshan. And for Lord Shiva, whenever he approaches Lord Krishna or any other forms of Lord Hari, he always takes a very humble, submissive position. And this is very instructive that when Lord Shiva meets Lord Vishnu, he starts first of all by offering beautiful prayers to glorify Lord Hari. And the first section of this chapter is all about those prayers. So he doesn't come, ring the bell and say, oh, can you show me that form? So that is not how Lord Shiva is teaching by example. That is not how we approach the Lord and place our petition. Even as devotees, we have to be very conscious of this standard that the Acharyas and great Mahajanas have taught us through their lives and through the pages of scripture. When we approach the Lord, of course, for us, we may not be in a position to, at this stage, see the Supreme Lord face to face, but when we go in front of the deities, and this etiquette is not just for the Lord, but even when we go in front of a very great personality, especially the spiritual master or very great saints, we first offer some words in glorification of that great personality. We do stuti first. And that's what Lord Shiva starts with. And he starts with what? Deva Deva Jagat Vyapin. He makes it clear, I am not the boss, you are the boss. That's how the conversation starts. Deva Deva Jagat Vyapin, Jagad Isha Jaganmaya, Sarvesham Api Bhavanam, Vam Atma Heturishwara. No doubt. Anybody has any doubt about the relative position between Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, this words, and of course the subsequent verses also puts it all to rest. Lord Shiva himself is admitting, oh Lord Vishnu, you are the supreme. I am not. You are the all-pervading Supreme Lord. You are Vishnu. Vishnu also means all-pervasive, he who resides everywhere. You are the super soul. Tvam Atma Hetur Ishwaraha. Sarvesham api bhavanam. In all existence, you are permeating. And you are the God of the God, Deva Deva. Krishna also refers to this particular phrase, Deva Deva. Actually, not Krishna. Arjuna refers to Krishna as Deva Deva Jagatpati. Krishna refers to himself as Aham Adir Hi Devanam. I am the beginning and the source of all the Devatas. Maharshinam cha Sarvashaha. So, Lord Shiva, as he is glorifying, one of the verses in glorification is today's verse. So, before I come there, let me complete the point that I was making. So, you start with Stuti. The Acharyas say prayer should have three components. You start with Stuti and say, how great Lord you are. After that, you explain your own position of servitude and insignificance in front of the Lord. Dainya. And third, you very humbly place your petition in front of your object of worship. That is the process. Not that we go in front of the Lord and immediately start reciting out of our shopping list. Oh Lord, please give me this, please give me this, please give me this. I have been doing so much service for you. So you owe me all this. Of course, we may not say it, but sometimes, we approach the Lord with that ego. With the sense that, I am doing so much for you, so it behooves you to help me. But a pure devotee always feels himself as a Sharanagat. He always feels himself dependent on the Lord. And a position of dependence and servitude never demands. Best is to just depend on the Lord's mercy. But it is okay to petition the Lord, but then leave it to the Lord to decide whether he wants to grant or not grant. Oh Lord, if it pleases. Prabhupada would say often. Sometimes devotees would ask Prabhupada, and Prabhupada's health was not good. Prabhupada, can we pray to Krishna for your good health? So he said, you cannot demand from Krishna. You cannot order Krishna, do this. But if you want, out of love for your spiritual master, you can pray to Krishna. Oh Lord, if you so desire, you really want, if you can give good health to our spiritual master so he can continue to be with us for some more time. You can petition. And then the devotee accepts whatever the Lord wants. But always with Stuti first. Oh Lord, you are so great. I am so small. If it pleases you, can you please grant this petition? And that petition could be on behalf of ourselves, or it can be on behalf of someone else. Behalf of someone else means if you are praying for somebody else, oh Lord, this devotee, he needs some help. Can you please shower your mercy on him? If it is your will. So that is the general recommended sequence in a prayer. Stuti, Dainya, and then Prarthana. So we are now in the section of Stuti. We are in the section of Stuti. So I'm not going to go into the other parts. The subsequent speakers will cover that. Lord Shiva is now uttering amazing verses explaining the tattva of Lord Hari as the Supreme Person. Such beautiful. This whole sequence of verses, 10-15 verses, up to verse 13. Actually, verse 13 and 12 are the request directly. It's the final petition. But most of the ones up to verse 11 are glorifications of the Lord. And the purpose also, I would strongly recommend for those of you who have not studied these verses and purpose, please study. Philosophically, it is so powerful in terms of understanding the supremacy of the Lord. and the Tattva of the Supreme Lord. His omnipresence, his position as the Supreme Personality above Brahman, above Paramatma, above all the Devatas. How the Lord is situated within the universe and still outside it. So many concepts to understand the different aspects and features of the Supreme Truth. Very, very beautiful. This particular verse that we are reciting today or discussing today, Tavaiva Charanam Bhojam Shreyas Kama Nirashishaha Visrujyo Ubhayataha Sangam Munayaha Samupasta. This verse is a very beautiful verse where Lord Shiva is actually glorifying the Lord's devotees. The previous two verses he glorifies the Lord, and now he glorifies the Lord's devotees by describing four prominent characteristics of the Lord's devotees. So the Munayaha is the word he is using to refer to the devotees. Thoughtful people. Munaya means thoughtful people. This word Munaya is also used, even though the word Muni doesn't always refer to a pure devotee. The word Muni here is a person who is thoughtful enough to come to the conclusion of worshipping the Supreme Lord. Munaya sadhu prashtoham bhadvir lokamangalam. The first canto, I believe it was in the second chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Sutta Goswami telling the sages, Sadhu prashtoham, you have asked such wonderful questions. Oh, great, thoughtful people. You have asked you have not simply come and ask question, when is prasad, when your class will end, what is there for breakfast. Or, can I please record the class and then, I will hear later. Munayaha sadhu prashtoham, you are so thoughtful. You are asking the sadhu prashtoham. Sadhu prashtoham is बहुत अच्छा प्रश्न पूछा. You have asked very good questions. Krishna samprashno. Why? Because your questions are about Krishna. So thoughtful people. So the word Muni, Munayaha, is being used. So four qualities of pure devotees are discussed. And these qualities are so important. In one verse, Lord Shiva is beautifully summarizing what are the qualities of a pure devotee, and these four verses or these four attributes that Lord Shiva is explaining can be a very beautiful compass for us to guide us in our own spiritual quest, in our own journeys towards the lotus feet of the Lord. Very beautiful, very simple, very comprehensive. So let us see what these four are. We'll discuss them a bit. And if we continuously monitor and adjust our life to maximize these four, we will never stray from the path of the Supreme Lord. And very soon we can attain the lotus feet of the Lord. Now you may wonder, the Lord Shiva was describing the Lord's beautiful qualities, and suddenly why the topic goes to that of describing the nature of the devotees. The reason Lord Shiva is glorifying the nature of the Lord's devotees here is because, just like in the previous verse which you discussed yesterday, I believe, the Lord was described as one who is independent, actually not in the immediate previous verse, but actually in the verse before that. That the Lord is described as independent, fully independent. He doesn't depend on anyone to fulfill his own his own desires. The Lord in the scriptures is often referred to as Apta Kama. Apta Kama means he whose desires are automatically fulfilled. He is always fulfilled. And second, he doesn't need any external agency to fulfill him. That's why sometimes the Lord is called as Apta Kama, or sometimes is also known as Atma Rama. The word Atma Rama is used to refer to the Lord also, and also used to refer to the devotees. And that is precisely the point that Lord Shiva is trying to emphasize. Just like the Lord is fully self-satisfied and independent. There's a very beautiful verse which Srila Prabhupada so often quotes across his Bhagavatam classes. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate Swabhaviki Jnana Balakriyacha. That the Supreme Lord has so many energies which are always in front of him, ready to serve him. So the Lord doesn't have to exert himself to satisfy himself. Correct? Today is Diwali. By the way, very, very happy Deepavali to all of you. For us, right now is the Deepavali night. It is exactly the Deepavali Muhurta going on right now. I'm based in Kuala Lumpur. As we are discussing this, I know for you it is the morning. But for us, for Deepavali, when we celebrate, all of us, we have to put in so much effort. We have to clean our homes, get everything nicely, saaf safai, painting, decoration, prepare so many kinds of savories and sweets and offer them to the deity. So much hard work. Diwali is not only celebration. And Deepavali also includes lot of hard work to prepare for the celebration. And that is generally the nature of the material world, isn't it? So much labor and so little gain. And I'm not speaking just specifically of Deepavali, but in general in the material world. But does the Lord have to labor to enjoy? No. Parasya Shaktir Vividaiva Shurte. The Lord simply desires. And knowing the Lord's desires, all his energies, instantly understanding the Lord's mind. They are arranging and doing everything that is needed to fulfill the Lord's desire. His Leela Shakti, his Jnana Shakti, his Kriya Shakti. Swabhaviki Jnana Balak Kriyacha. Everything is just happening. That beautiful vision of Lord Mahavishnu, half sleeping in the Karana ocean. And just by his desire, millions of material universes are emanating from the pores of his body. So that is the characteristic of the Lord. The Lord is not dependent, because the energies of the Lord are an aspect of the Lord. They are not outside the Lord. So the Lord doesn't have to depend on anything outside. He is fully self-satisfied. Similarly, why Lord Shiva is mentioning this verses, just like the Lord is self-satisfied and not depending on outside sources for his pleasure, similarly his devotees also, his pure devotees also, don't depend on anything outside for pleasure. They are also Atma Rama. How Atma Rama? They just take pleasure in the self. What does pleasure in the self mean? Prabhupada has explained many places. Pleasure in the self means pleasure in the realization of their constitutional position as eternal servant of the Lord. Jivera Swaruphoye Krishnera Nityadas. Krishnasya Tatastha Shakti Bheda Bheda Prakash. Or the realization of what Lord Chaitanya would always contemplate on as a sannyasi devotee. Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayora Dasa 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 Anudas. I don't have any other identity. I am neither sannyasi nor vanaprastha nor grahastha nor brahmachari. I am neither Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Externally, I may have a body which may have this designation, but my real identity is not this. What is my real identity? Gopi Bhartur Pada Kamalayora Dasa, 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 and Dasa. My real identity is nothing but the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord of the Gopis. Gopi Bhartur. And in the realization of my position as that servant of the servant of the servant, my soul is so unlimitedly satisfied that for the devotee, he is not looking outward. He is not Bahirmukha, he is Antarmukha. That's why he is Atma Rama. Atma Ramasya Munayo Nirgrantha Api Urukrame Kurvanti Ahetukim Bhaktim Mitham Bhato Gunohari. Famous Atma Rama verse. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya discussed very beautifully with Lord Chaitanya. So the reason Lord Shiva is mentioning this verse, and we will get into the details of what Lord Shiva is explaining, because that is the crux. But this is an important point. Both the Lord and his pure devotees are not looking outside. The Lord is fully self-satisfied by virtue of his own potencies, and the devotee is fully self-satisfied by virtue of the realization of his relationship with the Lord. And he is also not looking outside into the material world to fulfill his desires. So let us now discuss what are the four things which are described for the pure devotees. Number one, Tavaiva charanam bhojam samupasate. Number one quality is they are exclusively engaged in the service of your lotus feet. Tava eva charanam bhojam, your lotus feet. Sam upasate. Upasana means to worship. Sama means complete. They are wonderfully always engaged in completely, constantly serving your lotus feet. So number one means a pure devotee is always engaged in the Lord's service. Point one. Second, the question may be asked, why are they engaged in constantly worshipping? Is that they have some goal to achieve? What is that goal? Are they also like the Artha, Artharthi, Jnani, Jigyasu, like Krishna describes in the Bhagavad Gita? Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukrutino Arjuna, Artha, Artharthi, Jigyasu, Jnani cha Bharatarshava. Four kinds of people approach me, oh Arjuna. Those who are distressed, those who are in need of wealth, those who are inquisitive, and those who are in knowledge. Lord Shiva clarifies what is the desire of those who are constantly worshipping the Lord. Quality number two, Shreya Kama. Their Kama, their desire, is not Preyas, it is Shreyas. Now, this point, this word Shreyas, Preyas is very commonly found in the Vedic literatures. Shreyas means ultimate benefit, and Preyas means temporary benefit in this material world. The Vedas repeatedly exhort intelligent human beings, don't chase after Preyas, go after Shreyas. If you remember in the Bhagavad Gita, also Arjuna tells Krishna, Yash Shreyasyan Nishitam Bruhitanme, Shishyasteham Shadimam Tvam. Correct? In the second chapter. Karpanya doshopahata svabhava prachami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha yash shreyasyan. Tell me, what is it that I should do so that I will attain the ultimate benefit? So their desire, Lord Shiva is saying, Shreyas Kama, not Preyas Kama. They want the topmost Shreyas. And what is the topmost Shreyas? The highest goal of life, the ultimate auspiciousness, which of course is to attain eternal service to the lotus feet of the Lord in the spiritual world. And to make it clear that it is not that that is just the first desire on their list, and after that there are second, third desires. Correct? Because some of us may say, Prabhu, that is my desire also. I also want to go back to the spiritual world. I also want to play with Krishna, serve the devotees. Yes, we all want. But the point is, on the list of karma, of the desire in terms of the motivation to worship the Lord, for the munaya, for the sadhus, there is one and only one item in the list. It is not that, oh Lord, I want to be a devotee, and also can you please give me enough money to buy a Mercedes, and also, one nice villa in a beautiful tropical island, just so that I can serve you nicely, my Lord. No, nothing else. Enough money so every weekend I can go to Vrindavan, and lot of wealth so I can give some donation to you, to your projects also. I mean, why I'm saying like this is often the tendency of mixed devotion, and I'm pointing to myself, not to you all. You all are very exalted. Is that we often pray to the Lord in seemingly a devotional way, but actually the real underlying motivation is to enjoy, not to serve. Lord Shiva makes it clear. Nirashishaha. Not only are they Shreya Kama, but they have no other desire in the list. They are completely free. Nir Ashisha. Ashisha means hope. आशा, निर आशीष, और कोई आशा नहीं है. What is the only asha? Shreya Kama. They have no material desire. There's a very beautiful verse in the Sanskrit Subhashita. It says, Ashanam Manushanam Kachit Ascharya Shrinkhala Yaya Baddha Pradhavanti Yaya Muktas Tishtati Panguvat. This asha, this hope of enjoying in the material world, this hope that I can actually become happy in this material world, this is actually the cause of bondage. Those who are bound with the chains of hope, they're always running around. Means they are chasing things in this material world. Doing this, I'll do this, then I'll be happy, I'll do this. Krishna describes this very beautifully in the Divine and Demoniac Natures, chapter 16. I will do this, I will be happy, I will do this, I will be famous, I will be the well-wisher, I will give in charity, I will be glorious. I'll have 1 million followers on my YouTube channel. I'll have so many likes and I'll be so much popular. And nowadays, everyone wants to become internet celebrity. This fever has caught up in spiritual societies also. Of course, if it is purely for Krishna's service, that's okay. But if it is driven by the desire for name and fame, then it can be a poison. Completely free. Nirashisha. So going back to the verse I mentioned, Yaya Baddha Pradhavanti, those who are bound by this hope of enjoyment, they are running here and there, Pradhavanti, trying to pursue their material desires. So it is a seemingly opposite. Normally, if you are bound, you cannot move. But those who are bound by hope are running around. And those who are free from this hope of material enjoyment, Tishtati Panguvat, they are just seated in one place, peaceful. Those who are bound by hope are restless and running around. As long as we remain bound by hopes of material enjoyment, we cannot peacefully sit down and focus exclusively on Shreya Kama and remain constantly engaged in the service of the Lord. That's why Srila Prabhupada often mentions this. He says, attachment to Krishna and detachment from matter are two sides of the coin of Krishna consciousness. They all go together. You cannot say I have full attachment to Krishna, but also I am attached to material things. In fact, to the extent we are detached from matter, to that extent it will become possible to become attached to Krishna. We cannot keep our feet on two boats, then we'll fall in the middle. We have to keep our foot firmly on the Krishna boat and loosen our foot and lift it off the boat of Maya. Fourth point, which Lord Shiva mentions. Visrujya ubhayatah sangam. What is Visrujya ubhayatah sangam? Visrujya means giving up. Ubhayatah. Ubhayatah means in this life and both. Ubhaya means both in Sanskrit. What is both? In this life and the next. What? Sangam. Sangam means attachment. Sangam tyaktva vimuccha. Visrujya ubhayata sangam, which means they are not desiring for anything material either in this life or the next. There is no chasing for heavenly life, not even for liberation. Lord Chaitanya in Chaitanya Charitamrita says a very, very beautiful verse to sum up the devotee's mentality, or rather what it should be. And he gives a very beautiful guiding principle. He says, Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakale Ashanta. If you have any desire either in this life or the next for Bhukti, material enjoyment, Mukti, liberation and merging into the Lord or becoming free from the cycle of birth and death, or Siddhi, to attain mystic powers or material perfection. Sometimes the word Siddhi is not just in terms of attaining 8 mystic powers. Siddhi means perfection or to become super excellent in some field. Sometimes even within the realm of devotional service, we want super excellence in a field. Super excellence in a field to serve Krishna nicely is very good desire. But super excellence in a field to want to get name and fame is a very dangerous desire. It will distract us from the attitude of service to the Lord. So one must be very, very, very careful to not be distracted. So Ubhayata, so Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, Kami, Sakale, Ashan, they all are always disturbed, just like we discussed, right? Those who are bound by Asha. Asha, hope, is of 3 types. Bhukti, Mukti and Siddhi. Those who are bound by it are trying so hard to attain it, then they are frustrated when they don't get it. And when they get it, they are frustrated to maintain it. But Krishna Bhakta Nishkam, Krishna's devotee is without any desire. His only desire is to serve and please Krishna, and serving and pleasing Krishna has no material impediments. One can serve Krishna 24 hours. The only thing is one has to just give up all other distractions and serve the Lord. Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ata Eva Shan. That's why he is peaceful. So Lord Shiva is saying here, devotees are completely free from all material attachments in this life or in the next. So summarizing, before we conclude, 4 qualities. Tavaiva charanam bhojam samupasate. They constantly engage in the service of your lotus feet. A devotee's first quality. Always engage in the Lord's service. Motivated by what? Shreyas Kama, desiring to achieve the highest goal in life, the ultimate auspiciousness. Nirashisha, not having any other desire, completely free from all material desires for sense gratification. And Visrujyobhataha Sangam, giving up attachments in this and next life. So if one is not attached, if one is free from material desires, if one's only goal of life is to attain the lotus feet of the Lord, and pursuing that goal, one is always endeavoring to remain engaged in the Lord's service. These are the wonderful qualities of a great devotee of the Lord. Such a beautiful compass Lord Shiva has given to all of us. So I will end my class here and open up the floor. If at all there are any questions or comments, you can take up for a few minutes. Is that okay, Mataji?
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for this very, very wonderful, insightful class that how Lord Shiva is giving so many instructions for developing our pure Krishna consciousness. Thank you for taking all the journey and pointing out all the 4 points that a devotees can concentrate on. Thank you, Prabhuji. I request dear devotees, if you have questions or comments, you can ask now. So, Prabhuji, when devotees also have some struggle, so when the conclusion was that, Prabhuji, you were sharing that when one doesn't, the struggle is only on the material platform. Spiritual platform, it is always a bliss. So sometimes when devotees are trying to serve the Lord, there might be some challenges. So how to see that struggle and understand, and of course, after the struggle, there will be a lesson or there will be some bliss in that. But still, at the point of struggle, how to understand?
Yeah, that's a very interesting point. As long as we are in the material world, even the most natural thing for the soul, which is to serve the Lord, will also be a struggle. Because, we are in foreign territory. Right? And that is one of the reasons why the devotee wants to go to the spiritual world. So that he can serve Krishna without any distractions. Sometimes, actually in our parampara, the thinking is that it doesn't matter whether we are in the material world or the spiritual world, we just want to serve Krishna, and that is the perfect consciousness which the acharyas guide us towards. But the great souls have also explained that the desire that a devotee may have to go to the spiritual world is not just because he can enjoy, but so that when in the spiritual world, because in the spiritual world there is nothing which will hamper the execution of our natural function of serving the Lord. The material world will be a place by design where it will always be an upward swim against the current. So that is going to be a normal part of what it means to be in the material world. But as far as devotees are concerned, devotees deal with these challenges as a sacrifice of love. They don't see these challenges as trouble. Rather, they see these challenges as an opportunity to say no to Maya and say yes to Krishna. So when we deal with these opportunities, especially for a conditioned souls like us, every time we deal with opposition and we say no to Maya and yes to Krishna, we elevate our consciousness one step, one step, one step. And in that way, we go higher and higher towards Krishna. Of course, for the pure devotees, they don't need that. The great acharyas, they do this only by their demonstration of their life, how they are so fixed up that nothing can deviate them from their service to the Lord. Thakur prays very nicely in one prayer. He says, the difficulties that I face in my service to the Lord. So in the spiritual world, there will not be difficulties. The difficulties will be in this material world. The difficulties that I face in my service to the Lord are my greatest ecstasies. So because even when the body and mind may be undergoing a struggle, prakriti sthani karshati, right? We are struggling in this material world, body, mind. So it will not be pleasant. It's not that just because I'm doing devotional service, my hands will not ache when I'm cooking prasad. Now Gaurang Prabhu and team are cooking for 10,000 devotees. Right now, as we are nicely sitting here and listening to Harikatha, they're cooking a breakfast, lunch, dinner. Is it that their hands are not going to pain? They are waking up at 2 a.m. Hundreds of them are cooking 3 meals for 1 week. I cannot even imagine doing that. But the body will get stressed. The mind will at times rebel. No, this is too much. Can't do it anymore. But the soul, at the level of the soul, and this I've heard from Radhanath Maharaj, I'm just sharing, I am a very insignificant soul. At the level of the soul, the self experiences such ecstasy because it is sacrificing at a bodily and mental level for the pleasure of the Lord. That is yajna. What is yajna? Yajna means sacrificing one's own interest for the interest of the Lord. So that is the process that the acharyas have taught. So if we are in the right consciousness, we can internally experience bliss, even as our body may be feeling pain, even as our mind may be, because at a deeper level, when we are experiencing the real pleasure of devotional service, these other external things do not bother us to the extent that now for us in our conditions change is bother us. So that's some insights, Mataji, if that helps.
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Is that okay?
Thank you. Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, I understand.
Thank you,
you so much.
Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji.
Next,
Janava Mataji has a question.
please ask your question, Mataji. Janava Mataji.
Hey, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Good morning. I offer my sincerest obeisances to you. Your class is always practical and philosophically charged, so I really do appreciate it. Prabhu, how
Yes, ma'am.
does in our spiritual journey, right? There are so many different kinds of worship that the Lord had given us an opportunity to be service. Some people do temple service and flower service and kirtan, etc., or listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. What do you think is the best service for a neophyte in, or even a middle person that's been in bhakti, in softening the heart and really kind of reaching that Krishna prem? Because in my observation, I mean, that's question one. And then a little segue. In my observation, sometimes I feel like people get so caught up in their technical, official service to the temple or to the deity, and then they don't see who's in front of them as other devotees that are in need. And it's almost like, I don't have time for this. I have service in the temple, but the person in front of them who's a devotee, which one is suffering or struggling? Which do you think, like if you were in a position, let's say you have a service in the temple, right? And someone, a devotee is in front of you, which service do you do? Which one do you think is better for the devotee to serve, right? Well, what's your take on that, Prabhu? If you
Interesting. Thank you, Mataji. This question deserves a very detailed discussion because there's so many dimensions to what you have raised, Mataji. But I will try to be brief and give some uh, directional guidance in this regard based on what I've heard.
thank you, Prabhu.
To your first point, Mataji, there is no one recommended service
Okay.
as a class, right? The one recommended service, or rather, what Prabhupada would say is, for everybody is follow 4 regulative principles and chant 16 rounds. So that is absolutely, recommended for everyone.
Yeah.
Now, now, as far as practical engagement of the mind and senses in service of the Lord, uh, there is no high or low. There is no high or low. It is very much based on our individual natures,
Mm,
our aptitude, our mentality. And from Krishna's perspective, Mataji, Krishna, it doesn't matter whether we are doing services which are prominent from a social perspective or
mhm.
not so prominent. When I say prominent, I'm talking about frontline services,
Ah,
right? As a
okay. Yes,
preacher,
sir.
member of class, as a manager, right? Now, these positions often attract more attention in the world because they have more visibility. So, we think, there is so much more appreciation, and we think there is more appreciation. That means it must be bigger devotion, right?
Mm.
But Krishna doesn't see it like that, right? Because Krishna is not seeing outside in. Krishna is seeing inside out, right? Krishna is
Yes.
looking at our heart, and even though the service may be a very simple service of cooking in the kitchen quietly. How many times we even know who cooked the bhoga offering for the Lord from the DT kitchen? Most of us may not even know, even as we are honoring the Mahaprasad. Nobody will know before the Mangalarti who came and swept the temple, right? So these devotees may not get prominence, but from Krishna's perspective, uh, and this is what actually gives us spiritual advancement, is who is serving Krishna with a genuine desire to please Krishna. What is actually pleasing to Krishna in our service? Is it the outcome of the service? No, it is not. Why it is not? Of course, we must still put our best effort as an expression of our love, but ultimately the result of the service is given by Krishna only, right? How can Krishna assess us based on the result when he himself is giving the result?
Yes, Prabhu.
Krishna's assessment is based on the quality of our consciousness.
Mm.
How
Yeah.
sincerely, selflessly, and with a desire to please him we are rendering that service.
Right.
So that is the quality that actually will attract Krishna's attention and attract his blessings. To remain a humble servant in all situations. So that is one thing. So our general guidance for those who are new is, uh, if they have a natural inclination based on their professional background or their social background, or you see certain strengths in their personality character, uh, the simple way, and that is the aspect of karma yoga that we say, that we start with, that we engage our natural activities in Krishna's service. So
Mm.
that is best, because if we try to do activities which are not aligned with our nature, occasionally we can do, but we cannot sustain them over the long term. We will not be happy, especially in the conditioned stage. That is not the recommended path. So it really depends on the nature. But what I'm trying to say is, spiritually, it doesn't matter what category that seva activity falls in, as long as it is rendered with genuine selflessness,
Oh, get
and
again.
with a desire to please the Lord, one will actually make wonderful spiritual progress. Better, Prabhupada says, right? It is better to be a humble sweeper than a charlatan meditator. One may be sitting and giving big
So
classes,
Prabhu,
but still
basically,
attached to Maya.
in essence, what
Yes,
you're
Mother.
saying is all these material positions that is reflected in the service doesn't really matter in the material world, or it doesn't matter to Lord Krishna. What matters is
Yes,
the consciousness of the person doing the service spiritually, as well as the
correct.
above or the mood on how we view them for Krishna.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Bhavagrahi Janardhan. Krishna is ultimately interested in the content of our heart.
Right.
Yes, Mother.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare
Yeah, yeah,
Krishna.
yeah. So just one more comment, that in terms of what you mentioned earlier, the scenario that sometimes we have service and there is something which comes up in terms of assisting a devotee,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then of course, from Krishna's perspective, serving a devotee is more important than serving Krishna, right? So we have to have the right
Mm.
spiritual intelligence to prioritize. Of course, if we are in a temple setup, we cannot abandon certain mandatory obligatory services in the management of the temple and service to the deities. So if such situations arise, we have to practically use our intelligence to get somebody else to continue it, because otherwise that will create another set of problems. But
Mm.
the general principle, guiding principle for all of us is Mad Bhakta Pujabhyo Adhika. To take care of a devotee, to inspire them and support them in their own journeys, is a service which is more pleasing to Krishna than just engaging in direct service to him. So that was a small comment on the second part of your question. Yeah, so that has to be decided with intelligence and with guidance.
Oh,
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yes, Prabhuji, it really makes sense that we are actually trying to serve the Lord, and we want a situation where we can serve the Lord without this struggle. So that's why we desire.
I think Mataji's internet is not good today.
Oh, I think he dropped off. Yeah. No worries, no worries. Thank you all so very much. I'm so glad so many of you have come at the 6 devotees.
Thank you,
Please pray
Prabhu.
for me. Wishing you all a very, very blissful Deepavali Damodar festival, and hope all of you are wonderfully worshipping Damodar also in this month and offering ghee lamp, singing Damodar Ashtakam. So please keep me also in your prayers and give me your blessings. Thank you so much. Is Mataji back? I
Hare
think.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. August Srila Prabhupada.
Haribol,
Thank you
Shama
so
Gauri
much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class, Prabhuji, and happy Diwali to you. Happy
Same to all
Damodar.
of you.
So we'll stop here, Prabhuji. Let's pay our obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bevacha patitanam
Pavanebhyo
pavane
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo.
Namaha. The Koti Vaishnava Vrinda
Jai.
ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai. Granth Sahib Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
His
Jai.
Gaurchandra
Please, Krishna
ki jai.
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 Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji, for
Prabhuji.
wonderful class.